What's up, folks? Okay. Let's try this again. Right. Okay, let's pick up where we left off on coding this implementation of an audio cursor. And let's make sure that YouTube understands that I'm live. Okay. I'm not sure how long I'll have today, but I'll see what I can do. We don't need that. Okay. So I had written up this document, and that's not supposed to be like that. I had written up this document, and it describes the design of some classes in Dart. And I think this should be valid Dart. Let's try just popping this into the editor. Okay. All right, so we had this old progress tracker, which we don't need. I'll just put this stuff here. I don't know if progress tracker is still the right name for this file, but that's always easy to change. Okay, so we have these text spans and an audio place, and it just has some ID. And currently I don't have any HTML files that meet the requirements for using this. So I have to figure out in what order I want to do things. And I guess I'm thinking, do I really want this audio place to be an int? Or should I have it be the string that contains the int? And I think I'd rather construct the string on the fly because that's easy to do and it's easier to increment an int than a string that contains an int. Okay, and then in the web view, where is the place I could put this? So there will have to be some function that's like jump to this or rather, it will have to do things like highlight an appropriate CSS class, and it will have to get text from a paragraph-like element. Let me see if I say here what any of those functions will look like. Okay. No, I don't. But I guess those don't really need to be in the design. Or do they? There's a trade-off here, which is you start hacking and you get whatever you get, or you spend a little time designing and it may be unnecessary design, or you may clarify what actually has to be done. So I guess let's just try writing some functions. And I really have to emphasize I don't know Dart, so I'm not sure I'm going to remember how to do this. But I think I guess I use the underscore controller to do stuff. So what functions do I want? I reordered my which desktop things are on, and I think this is the better system, but I'm going to keep getting it wrong initially. I'm just making sure I have this chat open. Okay, so I guess let's try adding the WebView API. Yeah, fine, WebView API. And the basic setup will be see if I can remember this function. There will be some function that's like get text for ID of some int. I don't think that's valid Dart, but we'll this will let us know what sort of thing we're trying to do. And there may be something like advanced audio cursor, which is a void. And I don't know, like, what can happen. Can this throw errors? And what else do we need to do? Does the I don't know for sure whether I want the web view to know whether the cursor is dissociated. But oops. So I'll say JavaScript errors here because I can handle other errors just fine. But this might be something like do JavaScript advanced cursor, and then the if not dissociated, then do JavaScript scroll. And that's 2 calls into JavaScript. It's probably better to do this all in one go. So let's do that. And let's make sure that the web view knows whether we're dissociated. And what did I call it? I guess I didn't put it here at all. Diverged. Wait, what does redo here? Does it not have Emacs undo? What a travesty. Okay, so set diverged. I guess we'll just set it as a Boolean. Okay. And then we'll need some little JavaScript snippets, which I don't think will have to be very, very involved. And they will do things like what? I don't really remember. So we decided that get element by ID is we can think of it as O of 1. I think it's often O of 1. It may not be always O of 1. And this will be something like get element by ID, ID passed in. This is also not valid JavaScript, but I just want to write down as I'm thinking. So we're going to get the element by ID, and then we're going to take the element and this will be what? Function JS get text by ID. for ID. So we'll return the inner HTML. Font advanced. This is the JS version. And it will do what if diverged. So it's going to mark delete the class from existing element. Add the class to the new element. And if not diverged, scroll to new element. Okay, so this is more or less in pseudocode the stuff we have to build. And I don't know what order to delete and add the class. Like ideally we want that to be atomic so that if it fails, we don't enter a state where we have no audio cursor. I don't think that there is such a thing as atomic updates really for JavaScript. Is there? Atomics. I think this is for things like atomic addition, atomic bitwise and we have compare and exchange. Exchange is lock free. I could, I guess, do some sort of lock. Await async. And let's see what code the AIs had written. JavaScript set class. There's modern HTML5 techniques for changing classes. Modern browsers have added class list, which provides methods to make it easier to manipulate classes without needing a library. Was this not here? Oh, so class list add. Unfortunately, these do not work in Internet Explorer. Well, this only needs to work on the mobile platforms. On the default web view, which is not Internet Explorer. But what is class list? So it seems like one benefit is you can add and remove classes as lists. I don't know if I'm supposed to use this or if I'm supposed to use something else. I guess what I can always do, if it's not atomic, I can always add I can always add the audio cursor class to um, the next one, then remove it from the first one, and maybe have some logic that says that if there are two audio cursor elements, take the one with the highest ID. Although that won't work if you've gone backwards. Maybe it's just not an issue. Maybe you don't have to worry about it. So let me try adding. So I have so in JavaScript, I want to have a class that marks only a single element, but the marked element changes over time. I like to be able to atomically remove it from one element and add it to another. Maybe instead of atomically, like transactionally. Is this possible? And if so, how? This is just doing class list remove and then class list add. So limitations and considerations, there's DOM reordering. If the DOM structure changes while the mark is on an element, unexpected behavior might occur. Consider using unique identifiers or additional logic to handle such cases. Event handling, error handling. So I guess I could, no. I guess I could try changing the CSS file, the CSS. So let me just try asking the actual question. I'd like to have highlighting that moves along paragraph by paragraph as the reader scrolls. What's the best way to implement this highlighting? So this is using the class list. So let me just call that attention. So this is a class list. Is this the only, so is this the right way to achieve this behavior? And it'll ask, are there alternative approaches I should know about? Okay, so it says class list is generally the preferred method for dynamic styling. Okay, so let's do. So I need to figure out how to do string interpolation in JavaScript. Seems simple. And what did I decide the lector speak -n? Okay, so as I'm coding this, I'm going to put on some background music, which will not be audible to you, the listener. I'm going to figure out a way to start to stream it to Discord, I think. That way, if people want to hear the music, they can while it's live. But so far, there's no. YouTube has the ability to add like licensed music to uploaded videos, but from what I can tell, there's no way to do it live while streaming. So I don't know. I don't know how that's supposed to be done these days. Okay. I could just return. I could just call inner HTML on on the uh, on the item rather than getting it back first. I don't know. I don't think it matters one way or the other. I have to decide on a convention for whether I'm passing in the just the numerical ID, or I want to have, or whether I want to have a I want to stringify it before passing it into the JavaScript function. And I guess I'll stringify it. That way, the prefix can live in Dart land and only in Dart land, and I don't have to worry about making it up to date, making the JavaScript up to date with Dart and vice versa. Now that I think about it, I don't think I can easily make JavaScript manage whether we're diverged or not. So I'm just going to pass it in as an argument. And I can't, I think we decided that get, what is it, get element by class is um, is often optimized. Get elements by class name. It returns some collection. An HTML collection is an array-like collection list of HTML elements. Okay, so Gemini is confirming that I can't really set and retrieve variables from Flutter to JavaScript. Fine, I just wanted to double check. So I'll have to do a query. Hey, what's up? Yeah, this is a hobby project, or maybe just trying to understand this. What's the word? Using this particular stack project, a learning project, either way. Okay, so I'm going to get back some collection if I get the elements by class name, and I there should only be one element. I don't know what I want to do if there's more than one. I can, I guess, try to log in uh, in JavaScript, or I can maybe pass back an error to Flutter. Thanks. How's it going, idle piece? Okay, so the run JavaScript returning result will attempt to return a bool or a num if the return value can be parsed. So ask it. I guess I can ask it to return. I want a string, don't I? A num. I want a num. No. So I want to get my options are either to parse to write a parser myself if I send out an error string, or to return a bool, which is only really one bit of information, or to return a number, which will come already parsed, but I can define some essentially enum values. And I guess maybe that's what I will do. No, I'll do a string. I'm not sure if I can plus equals a string in JavaScript. Yeah, it seems like I can. So I had originally called this move audio cursor, sorry, advance audio cursor, because in the general case it will be advancing, but really it should be used for moving because you might want to rewind or fast forward. And I'll call this ID strings just to make it clearer from the code that it's supposed to be a string and not just the index where we're moving to. Now I don't know what happens if these things can fail, like set class, I guess, or class list add. So there's DOM exception and DOM error. So maybe I need to handle these generically. I'm not sure. The object cannot be found. And then what happens if you call get element by ID and it fails? Okay, so it returns null. 1 second. So I can always do this if else error handling. I guess console error is just the same as logging the error to the console with some specific error priority or debug level. So there are elements without inner HTML, and they include line breaks, images, input, meta, links, etc. Wait, what is link? So it's used for things, I guess, like style sheets. It's most often used for an external style sheet or to add a favicon. Cool. So I can't just take inner HTML. In particular, I think that also, what is input? I'll ask, is there a general way to get text from an HTML element? So HR tag defines a thematic break in an HTML document. For example, a shift of topic. Oh, it's a horizontal rule. Okay, fine. That doesn't have text. What about anchors? And I don't know what header is. Is that the same as like H1? I think header is the header of the whole page. Now, does like H1 have inner HTML? So this is actually interesting. The this inner HTML has a lot of white space. I don't know if that matters. I guess my editing, my, my console keys don't work. Keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so anchors have it. What about H1? So H1 has HTML span class. Oh, so that just says HTML tag. So I feel like everything that I care about has one. Use text content or inner text. So text content preserves all white space. So I guess inner HTML has the tags and maybe the inner text doesn't. Text content includes script content, while inner text ignores it. And inner text is older and may have compatibility issues. Generally, text content is preferred for simplicity and consistency. I don't think I want script content, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Oops. So this is not going to fly. I can't have if I'm returning a string. I can't have the error also be a string. So my options are to, well, I could return a magic string, or I could try to have try to create some JavaScript error object that I parse on the other side, and I guess that I'll just return the magic string empty string if there's no element with that ID. And I guess I will log to the console. I assume that that's somehow visible by Flutter, but I'm not 100% positive. How to get JavaScript console log in web view. Print post message. So oh yeah, there's this JavaScript channel thing. So Flutter web view, JavaScript channel. So I don't have to invent my own error handling. That's nice of them. The JavaScript code can then call post message on that object to send a message that will be passed to on message received. So you do add JavaScript channel. I guess print is maybe the name of the method. What? Okay, so yeah, okay, so that's the name of the channel. Should I call it print? No. So this is just calling print. It's just calling this channel print because it is. It's just calling the print function. That's why. Okay, so I'll call error post message, and then return with the empty string. And here I'll call error post message as well. And then I'll just modify the message to know that if we run into this condition, we can't move the audio cursor. And so I guess the audio cursor will persist in being where it is. And so we do the audio cursor name. Now I have to figure out how to scroll an element into view. Scroll, is there just scroll into view? Scroll into view. Okay, well, there's that. So I guess that this doesn't need to be called with return result. There's really nothing I need to communicate via the return value. Okay. So that should be more or less it. Modulo this is not valid JavaScript still. But it's not far from JavaScript. Now it's at least close to JavaScript. Might actually be valid. Now where did Emacs go? Oh, I was already in Emacs. Okay, so this is trying to find the, but this is doing the node, this, whatever, the aspect people rules. But what I really want is to use the simpler rules. So there's nothing, I think there's nothing called document in JavaScript. So there's nothing that this will do. This should fail, but I think it still might give us some useful information. So it seems to want to package that JSON. Maybe it can be blank. And we get unexpected identifier. Okay. Again, I don't know JavaScript. And what is this? Oh, it didn't like how I moved stuff. Why not? Huh. Why does that seem so weird? I don't know how you're supposed to format JavaScript prettily. Okay, so it seems like this successfully ran. I don't think it's supposed to do anything because it's just defining functions. The functions depend on things that don't actually exist, like document dot blah blah blah. Maybe that's okay. I guess it's not actually trying to run anything in this file, if I'm understanding Node correctly. So, and JavaScript is a dynamic language, so it just doesn't care that that it's not actually going to run ever. But at least it's syntactically correct. Okay, so my next question is what the best practice for reading JavaScript from a file is. So in Flutter's web view, there's the ability to run JavaScript, which I called evaluate JavaScript, which was the old name. Passing in a string. Can I store that string as a file, and so that I can better test the JavaScript methods? And if so, what's the best practice for reading that file into a string in Flutter? I'd like to do it at compile time. So it wants me to put it in the assets folder. And I'll ask, can I convert this file into a string at compile time? So Flutter doesn't directly support that. Not surprising. I could try to figure out if there's a way to do it with Bazel, basically creating the output file and giving it to Flutter as a data item. But but as far as I'm aware, there's no good Bazel support for Flutter. So I can't really get. I think it's going to be too much overhead to have to try to set that up on my own. I'm going to stop the stream. I'll be back tomorrow. There's a chance I'll be back today, but probably not until tomorrow.